I wrote like before I started
Hold
Roots,
on, hold
bro.
on. Let's we
Like,
gotta. I told you we gotta bring the sound
yeah,
effects back into it, man.
yeah,
Man, shout out to
yeah.
y'all, man. Being able to get scholarships in Grandpa name, bro. That's dope. That's dope.
Salute, salute, bro. Even to the point where, bro, today walking up the stairs, man, I had a tear of joy, and it's crazy because I was talking to my homeboys and we was talking recently, like when the last time you cried on it, bro. I don't remember. I cried today, my boy. Like, of course it was on some OG, like you know what I'm saying. Not no,
Yeah,
not no deep, but nah, but it hit, and for real, I was trying to like play it off, and I'm like, nah, bro, bask in it. Like, I took my time, you know what I'm saying, and I was just beyond appreciative to see how far things have come.
I never grew up with educators that look like myself. So
100.
I feel like honestly, like we are that new wave that make being wise, being smart, being educated cool, right?
Absolutely.
Wisdom is a powerful tool, but oftentimes we might neglect it because of who it's coming from. You feel me? But if we can chop it up with a young buck and really implant a seed, man, like that's it's more than just education at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, Marcus just brought it to my attention. I haven't used the sound effects, man, in a minute, so had to bring
Go
that back
crazy.
out. But man, as y'all know, man, this is Let's Grow Together, where diverse individuals and communities come to serve, connect, and grow in the areas that they're most passionate about. Man, we switching it up a little bit, man. I know Marcus usually check in, but as always, it's your boy James. I'm here with my brother Marcus. And man, I'm feeling good, man. It's December, man. We about to close out this year, bro. I know it's been a lot of wins, a lot of areas of improvement. But man, most recently, bro, the guys we focusing on this restorative justice conference that we planning for January, and
Where's
this
that at?
it's gonna be at Oak Park Library. So this
Okay,
is
okay.
this will be the fifth year that we put it on. Well, no, this is the fifth year that they're having it, but this will be the first year that a Greater Good Foundation is putting it together. Um,
Awesome.
Man, appreciate it. So we're doing a lot of behind the scenes work, man, getting the volunteers, getting the speakers, doing things like that.
What does that entail, bro? I'm interested just from like an outside perspective. Like, what is a restorative justice like convention conference? What does that look like?
Man, bro. So basically, obviously we have different presenters that are in the restorative justice
Mm-hmm.
space. So we have people coming in doing various workshops. So one may do different things about a land acknowledgement, and they may get in depth about why that's significant to restorative practices. Some may give like an actual introduction to restorative practice. So it really just depends on what their expertise is. But the objective of it is to pretty much have a network building opportunity for people that are in the space that are doing the work,
Mm-hmm.
because as you know, there's always an opportunity to be restorative or to have a restorative justice kind of practice. And what I mean by that is um, a lot of times when you go into schools, there's a lot of punitive justice that occurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, all right, if you do this thing, you get this consequence. But restorative practices is understanding that, all right, let's try to restore harm. Like, you were harmed, why was harm caused? Okay, this other person may have harmed you because they were hurt, right? So whatever the reason is, but restorative practice focuses on that. So again, just bringing people that believe in that practice, that want to share that with the world, and just coming into the same space.
That's gonna be a dope meeting of the minds, man. Because it's gonna be a lot of different philosophies within the same subject itself. So yeah, now I'm excited for that. That's gonna be fire.
I'm excited for it because I was on the outside looking in the last couple of years, and now to be behind the scenes, one, putting it together, but then
Mm-hmm.
also knowing the significance of it, having trained a couple people this year. It's one of those things where it's like, I know how transformative it can be when
Mm-hmm.
people actually use those practices. So I'm excited, bro. I'm actually excited. Um, Something else, man. I had a super dope conversation with Win, bro. Shout out to my mentor, man. He had randomly called me, and he getting old, bro. He had hit me up like, man, your phone must not work because I ain't talked to you in a while. I was like, bro, I just talked to you like 2 weeks ago. Like, you had, because unfortunately he had hit me up and was like, his father had passed away, and I had sent my
Mm.
condolences to him. But I'm like, I talked to you. And then he had expressed to me when I was on the phone with him that his wife had gotten sick. So he was like, so I'll give you a pass. I'm like,
Damn.
my life has been a little bit of a blur. He was like, so maybe you did reach out and I just didn't remember. But the reason I wanted to mention that in my check-in, bro, is because I've talked about on the podcast, like, man, not really celebrating Thanksgiving, not really looking to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate Christmas. And he had asked me like, man, that's this is the first I'm hearing of that. Why is that? So of course I break it down to him. I'm like, one, I grew up where, when Christmas time and Thanksgiving, and Black Friday came around, my family was going broke trying to like overspend, trying to like either buy things that they wanted, overindulge, do things for the family, what have you. And then I'm like, then there was layaway and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and I just don't feel that the holiday should be focused on having to give gifts and pretty much the greed aspect of it. And then I'm like, also,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. So I was like,
Mm.
so why do we sit here and say, man, that's Jesus' birthday, da da da. So he was like, those are very valid points. He was like, that's very valid points. He was like, but can I offer some perspective? So he was like, I know your story, so I understand why you feel how you feel. He was like, but I didn't grow up in a less fortunate household. So I could get, different things for Christmas. And he was like, and I'm not saying that in any type of way. I'm just saying that my perspective was, we brought family together. And he was like, my aunt, right? The one that's my favorite aunt. I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar. He said every year on Christmas, she would bring an orange and a bag full of oranges, bro. And he was like,
Mm.
she would give out oranges because that's what she had to give. So he had gave me the perspective that, don't, because I had mentioned to him like I want to practice this for my kids too. And he was like, why take away your kids' opportunity to experience this? He was like, I get where you're coming from, but he was like, don't think of it as giving because of the greed aspect of it. Think of it as giving because God gave, or being a servant because God served. He was like, don't think of it because of having to buy clothes or overspending. He was like, just think about it as giving. He was like, my aunt literally gave an orange every Christmas. No one looked at her differently. You know what I mean? So it was all love. So I pondered that a little bit, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit with that. But that kind of it hit me, bro. It hit me a little bit.
It's all about perspective, and that's why the OG is always gonna be so valuable, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
that's like the unspoken, key component to life, man. You got a good OG, older perspective to lean on, and Jeff May was actually in town, so you feel me? Like it's
yeah,
interesting you say that. My OG pulled up from Texas for the gala, and we was able to kick it. We was able to rap, and bro blessed me with a lot of gems, man. He's in a unique space in his life, and just being able to analyze him, pick his brain. And my guy was able to really just give me the flowers that we so big on giving flowers, but my guy really poured me up during the
yeah.
gala, man. We'll dive into that a little bit more, but it was phenomenal. And again, I'm just hearing you. I'm hearing how you speak when you talk about winning, bro. Like you light up, man. Like that energy is so conducive and such a such a key component to young black man's success.
Yeah,
Sincerely, so nah,
bro,
that's
cause
big.
cause I think more than anything, just being a black man, bro, I think it's the representation. Like it's like, all right,
Mm,
I might have come from this background, but here's a guy that came from a completely different background, but sees the value in someone like myself and willing to
mm,
take the time, willing to spend money, time, effort, right? In the
mm.
nonprofit space, we said we look for time, talent, and treasure. He was willing to give me all of that, right? And I think so. So now it's like, of course, like we talk about mentorship and why it's so important, but I also think now, us growing, getting closer to 30, seeing my mentor, he's I think like 55, closer to 60. I think Jeff May
Mhm.
might be almost maybe mid 30s, 40s. But the point is like now seeing them as they elevate in different stages of life as well, because that's a new chapter of their lives as well. So they're learning new stuff also. So it's like not
Definitely.
only being able to pick our brains from where we are currently, but also being able to get the gems from them as they're learning life as well.
Yeah, it's the ability to be able to replenish each other from different perspectives, right? It's that's like talking to your older self, right? You're gonna give us some feedback. You're gonna hear some feedback, and it's gonna help you build though. But nah, I love that. That's beautiful, man. But speaking about the gala, from my check-in perspective, yeah, man, we had the gala this weekend. It was phenomenal, man. It's crazy because I was talking to Jeff and we talked about it. I have a vision in my head when it comes to death, right? At my funeral, I just think about the positive comments, the genuineness that's going to be expressed. And that's what means more to me than anything, the
Yeah.
impact, right? And to be able to get the flowers on the stage, like I had a vision of like people standing up, cheering, clapping, whatever, just remembering. And I actually painted that same memory like during the gala,
Mm.
standing ovation prior to the speech. So it's just like, just taking a minute to bask in it, like as we talk about. And bro, I was so charged up. Like, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. We were able to give away scholarships in the name of my grandfather. Like, bro, this is on my index card I wrote like before I started
Hold
Roots,
on,
bro.
hold on. Let's we
Like,
gotta. I told you. We gotta bring the sound
yeah,
effects back into it, bro.
yeah,
Man, shout out to
yeah.
y'all, man. Being able to get scholarships in grandpa name, bro. That's dope. That's dope.
Salute, salute, bro. Even to the point where, bro, today walking up the stairs, man, I had a tear of joy. And it's crazy because I was talking to my homeboys and we was talking recently, like, when the last time you cried on it, bro? I don't remember. I cried today, my boy. Like, of course it was on some OG, like, you know what I'm saying? Not no,
Yeah.
not no deep, but nah, but it hit. And for real, I was trying to like play it off. And I'm like, nah, bro, basking it. Like, I took my time, you know what I'm saying? And I was just beyond appreciative to see how far things have come. Outside that, was able to do the toy drive, bro. My whole mother-in-law suite is full of toys, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we got to go ahead and disseminate them for the rest of the week. And it's just, bro, the joy, the smile is just finna be like, that's the biggest part for me of 2023 that I can remember is just the smiles and being able to attribute my sweat equity towards a reason.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So
Bro, that's so real, man. You just made me think like 2023 was a year of like relationships, partnerships.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're planning a toy drive as well with
Come
a
on.
Harper kid. It's a foundation with Lene Harper. She's a former WNBA basketball player. Shout out to Cody because that's one of his relationships. But
Mm-hmm.
it's coming up this Sunday, and it's just so dope because man, it's just always an opportunity to get back to the youth. But I think what's always super phenomenal about that stuff, bro, is like you don't realize how impactful it is for the youth until you're in that space, until you give them
Definitely.
that basketball, until you give them that easy baker oven, whatever it is, and you just see how they light up, and you would have just thought like, bro, you gave them $1,000,000. So more than anything, man, shout out to all the givers out there, the servants. Something else, man. The guys, man, we're in the process of trying to find like new mentors. Man, we keep, like I said, we keep building different relationships, and people want us to come out and do programs, and it's only so many of us. So we realize that, man, at this point, we've been blessed to be given information. We purchased information in terms of personal development and social emotional learning. So now we want to expand our reach basically. So we're looking to train new mentors. And one of in one of the programs, I gave this example, and I'm gonna ask you a question. um,
Okay.
so it's one of our like icebreaker check-in questions, but I think in terms of training our next set of mentors, I was telling the guys this is how I want to train our mentors. So who is your favorite superhero? Like your favorite superhero?
That's probably the wrong question to ask me. I ain't really a superhero guy, but I
Yeah,
say Black Lantern,
Black Lantern. I don't even know who that is, but we gonna act like that's a real person, right? Black Lantern.
Wakanda. Hey, somebody,
All
some
the black.
somebody, You know what? I'm gonna take
Hey,
it back. Static Shock.
Static Shock. All
Mm,
right, that's a
Static
good
Shock.
one.
I go.
Static Shock. I rock with Static Shock, man. But man, see, man, it would have been better if he was a superhero guy. This would have connected, but hopefully it connect for our listeners. But
Alright.
I told the guys, I'm like, man, I want to train all of our mentors like Batman. I'm like, he ain't got no real superpower. He ain't flashy. Obviously,
Mm,
he come with the money. But I'm like, he got two things. I said he got a tool belt and he got his intellect. He got his mind. So I'm like, we want to be able to equip y'all with the tools necessary in every situation, right? In terms of mentorship, right? Like obviously, like there's certain
yeah,
things that
yeah.
might happen, you know what I'm saying, that we can't necessarily train y'all for, right? But we want to teach y'all obviously the five social emotional competencies. We also want to teach
Mm,
y'all some restorative practices. But the idea behind it is no matter what scenario that we put you all in, you guys have the proper tools and judgment to be able to get through any situation. And I'm like, and that's Batman. And then of course they joking like, but man, he also was a billionaire. I was like, yeah, but let's take the
You
money
can't forget
aside.
about that. You
You know what
can't
I'm
forget about
saying?
that.
Yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, but that's what I'm looking for, bro. Like people that can use solid judgment, but also not be afraid to get in their bag, because sometimes you gotta adapt.
Hmm. No, this is vital. I want to say sometimes, man. I say most of the time, especially when you're new at something. So again, just bringing it full circle. During the gala, there was Jen. Jen Shoddy,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
girl who we getting us right. She won Mentor of the Year, and the feedback that she gave, she did a post following it, and we're just talking about how shy that she was. But I think oftentimes shy people are chameleons that just haven't shed their skin yet. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So, and to be quiet means to be observative, means to be able to engage if you desire to. And for her to like just make that transition, man, like that joint was so beautiful. Just to see it firsthand, to see the evolution of these young bucks turning into eventually the executive team and just the evolution of the collective, man. Like,
So
boy, shit.
was Jen? My bad for cutting you off, but was Jen
Yeah.
like a previous mentee? Was she a mentee at some point?
No. So no, because she's always been en route from a Fayetteville State College perspective. So she's
Got you,
always been, a college mentor. She
got you.
not from here, and that's the case with a lot of them. But yeah,
Oh, that's dope, man. But so what was like the criteria to win like mentor of the year? I'm just interested in asking.
us essentially one the school feedback, bro. Like
Okay.
the schools, right, Brad? The schools identify people and rave about people and text my phone about people. Like, yo,
Yeah.
when are they coming back? Like when I miss them. Like over the holidays, kids, hey, so and so ask about. Yeah, like it's extremely evident. And then really just the willpower and the energy to contribute energy and effort. Um, you know the people who really show up and are
Yeah.
consistent and are
Yeah.
really engaged, and you like, damn, there's something different about them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the
Nah.
case.
Nah, I got you because I was just thinking because when you mentioned the like shyness piece, I was just thinking earlier today when we were talking about just getting ready to train the next group of mentors. I was just like, mentorship is literally a two-way street a lot of time. So
Hmm.
although you might be a shy introverted person, you stepped up to become a mentor to begin with, right? So now you may mentor another person that's shy, and then because of the synergy that y'all got being shy, y'all connect, and now y'all, you know what I'm saying, like y'all gravitate towards each other. So I think the energy from her just one stepping up and just being like, man, I'm gonna be a mentor. I'm gonna show out. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up and show out when I am here. I just think that was returned to her with the award. So man, shout out to her because that's super dope, bro. Like that's super dope. I kind of caught a couple clips of the gala because I saw Jesus post some stuff. I saw a couple other people post some stuff.
That
Um,
ain't even a videographer though. I'm ready
yeah,
for my
yeah,
daughter to drop. Like that's why I ain't even want to see none of that. To be honest, I'm
yeah,
ready to see the real deal. But
bro.
take a
That's
little bit of time for them to do their craft. So I'm gonna be patient and wait. Yeah.
I'm excited to see that, man. I'm excited to see that, man. But man, I wanna do pivot just ever so slightly, man. But I wanna talk about some wins, man, as we kind of reflect on 2023. What are a couple wins that you had this year, Marcus?
I mean, bro, getting married was definitely probably the first thing that comes to
Hold
mind.
on,
Like this is
we gotta run that, man.
it's
Hey,
been a minute. It's been a
yeah,
minute.
yeah,
But nah, without a doubt, just from a reflective standpoint, again, that was something on my card. I didn't foresee it happening when it did, but I'm blessed and appreciative that it did to like find my soulmate and really just be in tune with my counterpart. But definitely say that. Let's say, bro, Roots has always been my baby. So that was my other baby that really evolved, and I've seen a lot with. A lot of personal wins, a lot of personal growth, a lot of mm, triumphant spirits really prevailing on a individual level from the college students to my young bucks. And even to the point where, bro, like referrals is coming out the behind, bro. Like
yeah.
we getting blown up, like, and it's continuing getting wilder and wilder. So it's really been I've been able to find my not define my why, but to know that I'm in alignment with my why now. Like
Yeah,
this, I don't invest energy to like be a mentor at all now. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah,
it's falling in your lap. Like, oh, that's your little cousin. Oh, he loved you. I got you. Like I'm
yeah,
ain't no elevator spills no more. Like I don't gotta.
yeah.
I'm good on that.
Bro,
So
ain't that
yeah,
the best feeling, bro? Like when your reputation precedes you, bro. And it's one of those things where like remember we talked about it on the previous episodes.
I wanna pause you. I wanna pause you though.
Yeah, yeah,
The energy precedes you.
yeah,
It's not even because again, people. I may have just met this person. She's not even from the city. She don't know nothing about Roots, but she's like, "Can you connect with?" I'm like, "That's what I do." Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's the reputation, but it's the energy. It's more. I
Nah,
care
that's
more
real.
about the energy than the reputation. So yeah, I
That's
just had
so
to
hey,
speak on.
that's so real, bro. That's so real. bro, it's a Maya Angelou quote. People won't remember what you said, they won't remember what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And energy is
Mm.
feeling, bro. So it's like when you feel, man, I that resonate, bro. That resonate a lot. Um, man, a win for
I
myself.
s-
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
my granddad said something along the lines of that, but he said people are in, what was it? He said people listen when you talk, but they remember when you act.
Mm, mm,
You feel me? And that was even a part of the speech at the gala. I'm like, man, people was like, what's your why? And I'm like, one, like I reaped the benefits that he did years prior.
yeah.
And now y'all reaping the benefits of the sweat equity of this. So like it was a full circle moment. But yeah, that was part of the speech. So I had
Damn, that's almost like when people be like, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they showed you, like
mm-hmm,
believe them. Like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's so tough, bro. Ah, man, that's
Mm-hmm.
tough, man. Shout out to grandparents, or just shout out to elders in general, because they always get a
Oh
jam,
jeez, boy.
man.
Mm, mm, mm.
Man, but a win for me, man. Business wise, we were able to sell that property, bro. We got that property up
Let's
off of,
go. Hey, go
man.
ahead and hit that button for
Yeah,
you,
you know
my
what I'm
phone.
saying? Hey, we got it, bruh.
Yeah.
When I tell you this joint was a headache, I'm talking
That was a
about,
joint with a squatter, right?
bro, with the squatter, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah.
going back to the squatter, then it had a plumbing issue where basically
Mm,
the contractors didn't put, man. It was a whole nother thing, bro. Where it was just becoming
mm,
a money dump. But we were able to sell it, man. We lost a little bit of money, but we were able to pay back the debt that was associated with it. So that was good, man. But I consider that a win, man, just because of all of the headache and things that had to go through it, man. And then, my partners, they kind of had to sacrifice the most going through it. So, man, it was a
mm.
win just to kind of get that up off of us. And then, like I said, paid off some debt, man. Um, Something else, man. I've been focusing more on the personal development side, and
Talk about it.
man, been trying to just really get back into reading more, bro. I told you offline I was reading the Four Agreements, and
Mm-hmm.
like I loosely knew what the Four Agreements were, but as I started reading the book and really dissecting that information, bro, it was just so crazy how simple life can be if we not just the Four Agreements, but if we found a system and stuck to it, like
Mm-hmm.
whether that be your
Mm.
religion, whether that be whatever, bro, like just find a system and stick to it. And the one of the agreements that I thought was so thought provoking, or that really like unlocked something for me, it was the be impeccable with your word. And I
Mm.
thought that it meant like just be honest, like speak truth, like you know what I mean. And that's not what it is. They broke down impeccable being basically to be without sin, and then they broke sin down to just being to not do wrong towards oneself. So they like not in the biblical sense, but just think of sin as being doing wrong to yourself. So basically, to
Mm.
be impeccable with one's
Detriment.
word,
Don't.
yeah.
Mm.
So don't speak
Mm.
against yourself, but also don't
Mm.
speak against others, because the thought process is to do unto others as you would like done unto you. So they
Mm.
basically saying like don't speak down to yourself and don't speak down to others. And I was just thinking about like how we have this negative self talk when we talking about ourselves sometimes, right? I will say because kind of a like an area of improvement for me was like my fitness or my nutrition. And instead of saying like I'm gonna work on this thing, I'm like, damn, I was eating these damn, you know what I mean? Or I was doing too much of this. Like, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talk negatively about ourselves. And I was
Mm.
thinking to myself, like, be impeccable with your word. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that. Don't do that. Like, you know what you gotta do, let's do it. But
Mm.
yeah.
Positive self talk, but giving yourself grace simultaneously. That's tough. Yeah, I've heard that before and I'm familiar with it, but I don't think I processed it like that. Is I think it was more so how I broke it down was more so be direct, be blunt, but be intentional. Essentially, right? Know that every action in which you put out is gonna be received back. So not more so in your sense, but be strategic and how you move is kind of how I looked at it. So nah, that's an interesting philosophy. But
So yeah, man. I mean, it's and again, like, I mean, that's how I read it. Just because of the simple fact when they broke down the word impeccable, like that was the thing. That was the switch for me, because obviously, like when I hear the word impeccable, I'm thinking like, all right, impeccable means pretty much extraordinary, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
be like, be extraordinary with your word, like don't speak down, you know. But then when they broke it down in terms of being without sin, and saying like sin just being don't go against yourself, and then when you think about sin in the religious sense, it's the same thing. Like all of those different things are things that you would basically do against yourself in terms of sin. And I was just like, bro, all they really saying is speak life into yourself and the things that you do and the people that's around. And that's stuff that we
Mm-hmm.
already know, bro. We talk about
Mm-hmm.
affirming things already.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, again, a lot of this stuff is so connected. It's just diced up a little bit differently. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that was
That's real.
that was my long-winded way of saying that. But it's just tapping back into personal development and being more consistent with it. Um,
I received that. That goes back to the discipline in which we talked about, which I'm continuing to work on, holding near and dear as well. But um therapist, rapping with my therapist. What I've realized I do, just kind of reflecting over the year, I have like 6 month stints where I have like yearly check-ins, or like biannually check-ins, where essentially I'm talking to him at one point in time where I'm feeling one state, and 6 months later we're reflecting on that conversation,
yeah, yeah,
and that's what we're able to talk about. But the biggest thing that I got from him is one, I'm extremely reflective, but when I reflect, I need to get not always be in my thoughts. I need to be in my safe, free, vibrant space, and what that is for me is water. I realize, right?
mm,
So again, just imagining, closing my eyes, taking deep breaths. What I've started to do is my deep breaths remind me of the ocean, right? When I'm taking my breath in, that's the waves coming out, right? Blowing it back in is being received. So just painting that picture, and even just taking on the philosophy, be like water. Like
yeah,
that's something I'm holding near and dear going forward, right? Is just be able to maneuver. And water's malleable. Water's gonna adjust to whatever situation, right? Kind of what you talked about with your mentees, right? They have the tool belt. They're equipped for whatever that comes with it, and in the process, they're not gonna be stopped. They're gonna make their adjustment as they need to be. It's hard
yeah,
to really contain them, and even when you contain them, it's not contained. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
yeah.
yeah.
Bro, that's so real, bro. I just be thinking about the mentees a lot, because we again we try to equip them with different tools and things like that. I think the water piece is so dope too. Um, I think the be like water piece is so dope too. But when you were talking about like, instead of being so in your thoughts, I thought you were gonna say something. Cody, he got his master's in consciousness, and
Yeah.
Cody had
Wait,
wrote,
his master's is in consciousness,
bro,
right? That boy
it's
tough.
it's in
I
consciousness,
didn't even
bro.
know they had that, bro. That's
Bro,
crazy.
and don't like okay, so let me be real. So it might not be verbatim, just like a master's in
Understood.
you know what I'm
Understood.
saying? It might be
Understood.
like the master's in the science of something, right?
Understood.
But it's
Understood.
it's pretty
Understood.
much this it's that's really what he owned. But
That's tough.
basically he was breaking down to me like, thought imagine your thoughts being cars on the highway, but you being somebody on the side of the highway, being able to see all the cars going past. He was like, so when you
Mm-hmm.
meditating, you see that, like you visualize that. And I thought that's what you was gonna say. Like, so when you try to, instead of being stuck in the thoughts, like I'm in the car on the highway, I'm actually on the side observing the cars go past. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's what you were gonna say. But bro, we were teaching a lesson, one of the 4 E's. We have the 4 E's to success. It's evaluate, eliminate, evolve, and execute. We teach this in a lot of the curriculums that we teach. And it was funny because we were on the evaluate stage, and then we had just pivoted into the eliminate stage. And one of the students basically told us like, man, I'm at the stage where I'm trying to eliminate things, but I just don't know what to do. It's just nothing that I can do. I feel like I should be patient. And bro, I had dropped the bar of the year. Didn't even know it. Like, it was so
What'd you
unintentional.
say?
It was so unintentional because like, because when we sit, we do the restorative we sit
Mhm.
and we do the restorative practices. So we're in a circle. So we allow everybody to go. So everybody is going, and they pretty much agreeing like, yeah, man, you just got to be patient. You just got to be patient. In your scenario, it's nothing you could do. And when it came around to me, I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't believe that there's nothing that you can do. I said I believe in every situation there is a can do portion of what you can do. I believe in cause and effect. I'm like, every cause has an effect. And I said to him, and this was the bar. This was the bar of the year. I said, patience is an action. I said patience is an action. I was like,
Mm,
and the fact
mm.
that you are being patient right now, that is the cause that will then bring another effect later. So when I'm talking about everybody, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You can hear like the that was a. So
That's tough.
unintentionally spit a super bar, and it
Damn,
was
patience. Say that one more time.
so it
That's tough.
yeah, bro. So basically, the guy was saying that he really it was nothing that he can do. There was no action that he can take. He was like, I just got to be patient, and I was like, man, patience is an action. Like you literally have to practice patience. How can you practice something if it's not an action? You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
And you
Yeah,
said due to your cause, that's gonna affect the next. Yeah, that's tough. Boy, you blessed that. You blessed that boy. You gonna change this
bro.
whole trajectory, bro.
And you want you wanna know what's crazy? Like the adult, it connected for the adults in the room. You could
Yeah.
tell for the kids, it was like, yeah,
Um,
ain't it time?
um.
They like, ain't it time to switch classes? Like, you know what I'm
oh
saying? So, but I tell you,
man.
bar of the year, man. But man, as we kind of continue talking about wins, man, marriage that was a really big one, and man, shout out to y'all, man. You, Cody, like y'all are the example for me, man. I want to get to that one day, so man, shout out to y'all, man. But what are some other wins? Let's talk about some other wins.
What are some other wins? It's crazy reflecting on this because I've been asked this a few times, and I have to sit there and I kind of gotta ponder. I think again the wedding, Little Ma just growing up, Little Ma turning 6 is a big thing for me as well. My little princess really is moving like a queen, and that's how she sees herself. Um, Outside of that, bro, just family health. It ain't nothing else too really crazy, bro. That sticks out. I think those ones that I've named were big enough for me to be content. That that kind of checked off the box for me, bro. Everything else has definitely been copacetic, but when it comes to the highlights, when it comes to kind of those redefining ceiling moments, like I said, bro, that scholarship, getting married, um, and just the family, just where we are, the reflection of it all, man. I
Yeah.
can't even stunt.
Hey,
Can't even stunt.
bro, and you wanna know what's crazy? Like, I wholeheartedly believe you, bro. The reason I say that is because like we wrapped offline, and and,
Oh man.
and I'm like, yo, Marcus, man, we been doing the podcast, and I like we know each other, we don't know each other, man. So for Let's Grow Together family, we took some time to just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Really chop it up. And when I tell y'all, this man Marcus is the most genuine, simple person I know. Like, so like when you say all the things, the wins that you had was just getting married, being able to get the scholarship, things about family, like I believe you because that's just the type of guy that you are, man. I'm like, man, you in the sports? He like, man, I turn on the game here and there. I'm like, all right, man, look. But that's super dope, man. Similar to me, man, like my focus is just trying to get better, bro. Like, I
hmm
try to I try to lay a brick every day, man. And my goal is to build this estate, of the James lifestyle and legacy. So every day, man, I'm just trying to get better every day. Um,
My guy said lay a brick every day. That's
bro, you know what
I,
I'm saying? Cause I'm building this house, bro. I'm building, and I'm not just
yeah.
building a house. I'm building an estate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
If you look up estates, a manor, like I'm trying to build something that's substantial. So for me, man, it's just like it's about constant improvement, and then taking opportunities like this to do it, whether it's on the podcast or it's us just rapping, like, and just being reflective. Like, man, we had some wins, and we also had some areas we could have got better, but really
Let
being
me
able to appreciate it.
let me ask you this, bro. Do you and wifey sit down and have like y'all reflections as well, like for the like collective, like how y'all person did? And just curious, cause like from a relationship standpoint, I think we talk about a lot from an individual standpoint, but
Yeah.
I wonder how many people do it from a relationship. Like, yo, like how do we grow, right? How do we evolve? Like that was one thing me and wifey talked about the other day, and I was just like, yo, like on Sundays we gonna sit down and we gonna talk about we gonna do a peace circle collectively in the
Yeah.
house type. You feel me?
Yeah, bro.
So and
So
I will go ahead.
so I got one comment to the first part about the peace circle thing, and I
hmm
jokingly say this, but I'm serious at the same time. Like my girlfriend, she know that I love what I do, but a lot of times she want me to leave that outside. She was like, bro, I don't
Yeah.
need you to, I don't, like, I want you to, I want you to be restorative and love me and care for me, but I don't need you to be a mentor. Like, I need you to be my boyfriend right now. I need you to chill out. Like come chill, come watch
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like, but again, in the same breath, like she's with the personal development, man. She's with the financial literacy. She's trying to get better. So this is something that we are beginning to try and practice. And again, just putting systems in place, because like what we were supposed to do was like weekly check-ins, similar to what you're talking about, like just gauging like, one, how are we doing relationally, how are we doing in our goals, how are we doing financially, whatever the situation is.
Definitely.
We were supposed to do that, and then we would do it, but then like life would start happening, and we would get kind of sidetracked. But it's making it a priority, like literally making sure that we're doing it. And so
Can I
yeah,
can I tell you something? Again, I know you love quotes, so I just want to throw this
yeah,
out.
yeah,
I heard this the other day. I put it in a speech, and that joint, like, it's been top of mind for me.
yeah,
They say, procrastinator's favorite day is tomorrow. You know what I'm
facts,
saying? And that's something I've been
bro.
kind of just holding on to myself recently as well.
Bro, it's this other quote. I don't know who started it, but I heard The Rock say it. It was like, it's either day one or one day. So either you gonna
Mm,
start, or you gonna
mm,
constantly say, one day
mm.
I'm gonna do it. So bro, it's one, and then again, it's not just doing it once, right? Because that's, yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
consistency.
It's
Yeah,
consistency of doing it, and
yeah.
so I think that's where we need to get better at. But one thing I can say, my girl, she holds me accountable. Like, and this is shout out to women, man, because they see things we don't see. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like
100%.
we tunnel vision, like we focused on the prize. Like, if the bills paid, the lights on, the heat on,
We
we
good.
good. We got food in that
Yeah.
joint, cool. But
hmm
maybe I ain't realized that I ain't went the date night with her. You know what I'm saying? I ain't realized
hmm
that I might not have said this, I might not have said that. I didn't realize that, every time she get her hair done, I don't compliment it. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. And they hold us accountable to that. But just in terms of the growth and the goal, she like, didn't you say you weren't supposed to be eating that right now? And I'm like, yeah, you did. I did say that, but man, tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? She nah, but she was like, all right, well, don't complain to me, because you said you weren't gonna eat better. Da, da, da. So she holds me accountable in that regard. So yes and no, like we don't do it as consistently, but yeah, it's there.
Nah, understood. And again, I can definitely, I definitely align with that as well. There's some things. The gym is one thing that we were great at in the beginning,
Yeah,
and we kind of fell off from. Right now, I'm slowly getting back in, but that's one thing I got to do consistent going forward as well. That's one thing I'm a not being a hypocrite is one thing that I'm
yeah,
really pushing. 2024 as well, and so much that we're gonna start off the year with a fitness theme.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's we're gonna be in that, but I want to end the year damn near with a fitness theme as well. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I want a consistency throughout. As much as we do the financial literacy, I want to have some type of just fitness challenge or some type of
yeah.
something that's gonna make you sweat as well.
So so
Incorporate.
so I shout out to David Shearns. He the Social Proof podcast. He the host for the Social Proof podcast. Something that him and one of his friends used to do. He had a accountability partner, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so what they would do is they had a goal of going to the gym. I think it was 3 times a week. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, they had to go to the gym 3 times a week, and they had to drink a gallon of water. So basically, what they would do is, like, either if they was going in the morning, at night, whenever they was going, they just had to go between at the end of the day. And if they didn't, they had to put money into a pot, like a hypothetical pot. And
Mm-hmm.
let's say they both went at the end of the week, nobody had to give the other person money, but whoever didn't go had to give the other person money. So what it did was it helped them, because don't nobody want to just give motherfuckers money.
Of
You know what I mean?
course, of
So
course.
what it did was it incentivized them to go to the gym and drink the water. Like, of course, like, and they financially stable. They sound. They
Of
don't
course,
need
of
the money,
course. Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was just one of those things where it was like, all right. So maybe you and wifey may have to come together and come, like, man, all right, like maybe
We
whoever
can
the
bargain.
yeah, man, I don't know what y'all date night, how y'all set up date night, because I
Look.
know a lot of time I pay for my date nights over here. No, I'm just playing. Let me make sure I'm playing, because I know she can hear this and I'm playing. But maybe you put it in a pot, like, this pot will pay for the date night, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Or
Mhm.
maybe it pays for a gift, like, you know what I'm saying. Whatever it is, you gotta come up with that. But maybe that's a way to help motivate y'all to go to the gym.
Nah, that's dope. That's a fun way to make something this simple.
And you
realistic and
competitive as
consistent.
hell too. You know what I'm saying? Mug's competitive
Yeah,
as hell too.
yeah,
We ain't trying to
yeah,
lose.
yeah.
So
Nah, that'd be fun. Nah, I like that. There's definitely again, and we can bargain with a lot, you feel me, man. So
facts.
yeah,
I
that'll
feel that. I feel that.
that'll be good. That'll be good.
I feel that.
But bro, kind of in closing, like I know evolution is always a huge thing for us, and when we talk about really closing out the year, man, I reflect from like a sales perspective. Like you kind of reflect on the whole year. It's like
Yeah.
which quarter was better. How did you evolve? You know, you're looking at the charts, you're looking at all the metrics and things of that nature. But from like a personal metric standpoint, bro, like what's one thing you really feel like you turned up in? I know we talked about how you could grow, what you could get better. Like, what's that thing that like when you reflect years down the line and you talk about 2023, right? What is that thing that really just echoes in your head?
Damn. You know what? Hey, you asking really good questions, man. But top of mind, bro, it would be like the way that I handled adversity. Like,
mm,
and I know that might
mm,
sound like a cop out answer, but it's just like, man, like a lot of people would not know a lot of the stuff that was going on in my personal life was going on in my personal life, but it
mm,
was because of the
mm,
way that I handled the adversity. And it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it stings. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it didn't sting, but it was one of those things that I realized that in order for me to continue to grow, to continue to evolve, to get better, as we say, I have to find a way to get past this in a way that doesn't stop the momentum that I'm already on.
mm,
So that was
mm,
really the focus.
mm. That's beautiful. And knowing you, like I know that from somebody acting naive with the car on Turo and you handling it great to to everything else in between, man. Like, nah, that's huge, bro. And as always, your flowers are well deserved, man. 4K be going
Appreciate it.
crazy.
What about you though? What about you? What's something
um
you feel like you went crazy on this year?
think evolution is always one thing that I would just say. But if I had to like really do it from like a micro perspective, I would just say like the family man that I am. You know,
Yeah,
like man, like we put together baby girl's Barbie dream house. She was on my head about that joint, but I'm like, yeah, baby, the gala coming up. Give me a minute. And I told her day after gala we'd do it, man. We sat down, wifey, her and I, and like we built the mess out that joint, boy.
yeah,
And I was so appreciative just reflecting on it after the fact. And it's just those little moments because in years prior, I would dedicate a portion of the time to do that, but
yeah,
I would be trying to go chase the next engagement, the next thing that's gonna provide bread to allow us to do that date night and me not be hurting you know what I'm saying? Like things of that nature. But now it's like I the money of calling, I'm ignore that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm engaged with this. I have my family time that's not really gonna be disturbed, and that's a foundation I'm gonna build on. And I want to make sure I just prioritize across the board with wifey, with Avery, with siblings that come down the line. Like, yeah. So it's it's
yeah.
it's, it's vital. It's imperative.
Yeah, bro. We just gotta realize, man, in pursuit of the thing, just not losing sight of the reason we even going after it to begin with. And I think, man, if we focus up on that, bro, like, and we really lock into our why and why we do, literally why we do what we do, bro, it's like we can only win. But I got one thing I want to say, just in thinking about like areas of improvement, bro. I have to get better with sleep, bro. Like,
Mm,
I don't have the greatest sleep habits, bro. Like I like one and we call it like what is it? It's unrealized potential or unrealized dreams that we're like we dreaming about something. We wake up and we like I got to get to it. Cuz a lot of
mm,
times I wake up in the middle of the night I'm like fuck, I got to do X or
mm.
I should be doing Y. And I end up literally sometimes I come back in the office and just start like working on some of the stuff for the
Getting it in.
podcast or doing whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look up like, damn, like I'm tired as hell. Then baby girl, like, man, you done fell asleep on this movie 8 times.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, one, got to get better with the sleep habits for sure, and really, sleep, fitness, nutrition, and making it a priority, not just all right. You know what I'm saying? This is the New Year's resolution thing, but making this a lifestyle and a priority thing.
Mm. That's big, and that goes hand in hand with again like rapping MC from a therapy session, like balance.
Yeah,
Balance is the biggest thing that I really got from our conversation is figuring out what that looks like. And oftentimes we take them from here to fulfill here, and then when it's not even kill, we're still reaping the negative impacts. We're reaping the negative. shit, how I want to say this. We are the beneficiary of the negative energy we invested, right? Or of the lack of energy we invested.
Yeah. No, I get
And
what you're
that's
saying. I get what you're saying. It's like because a lot of times, like you would be out. Let's say you go out in the world, you battling whatever you battling, then you come home, and then you got your girl or your partner at home, and now you transferring that energy, and she had nothing to do with that. And I know I know exactly what you mean, bro. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, and finding that balance. And even when I think about balance, I think back about the water.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the as you mentioned, it's the action, the reaction, the cause, the effect, and just being more intentional about. Again, damn, it's crazy. That should go back to what you said earlier, bro.
Facts, facts.
That's
Hey,
love.
hey, man, it be like that, man. But in closing, man, we appreciate y'all. Let's grow together, family. It has been a phenomenal 2023. Next year we're gonna be back in better with a lot of phenomenal guests, a lot of dope stuff going on, man. And then we appreciate y'all, man. We've been seeing some of the comments that y'all been leaving, but man, please, 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 please follow A Greater Good Foundation on IG. Follow myself at jturner0121. Marcus, let them know where to find you at.
And you can tap in at mastermind_Marcus as well as Roots Mentoring. Man, let's continue to build. It's been a great year. We hope we have added and we have grown with you all collectively. But going forward, it's gonna be bigger and better, man. I'm excited for it. Me and James gonna continue to build with y'all. Family, tap in. Thank you as always. We appreciate you.